6:40 Mars Standard Time, every corridor in Ares Vallis colony turned red. A solar particle storm had damaged the outer shield, leaving less than 24 hours to evacuate. Only one shuttle remained on the surface. Families moved toward the launch sector while pressure doors sealed the empty sections behind them. 17-year-old Elara Venn walked between her parents. 3 seats had been assigned to them, and she believed she was finally leaving Mars. Beyond the glass, Earth was a blue point above the red horizon, the planet from every story her parents had promised she would someday see. But every Mars-born passenger required a final gravity test. As the chamber increased its load, Elara dropped to one knee long before reaching Earth gravity. Minutes later, the doctor gave the family an impossible result. Elara could survive the flight away from Mars, but Earth itself might kill her. The screening measured whether her heart, bones, blood vessels, and balance system could withstand the gravity waiting at the other end. Elara entered the chamber again, convinced the first failure was a mistake. The hatch closed, and the machine slowly replaced Mars beneath her feet. At Martian gravity, she stood easily. 17 years of growth had taught every muscle and heartbeat to treat this world as normal. Through the glass, she smiled at her parents. She wanted them to see confidence. Then the chamber increased the load. Her knees trembled. Blood fell downward faster than her body could correct, and each breath became harder than the one before. The sensors showed her heart accelerating, her pressure falling, and her hips and legs carrying forces they had never developed to endure. Before the test reached full Earth gravity, her legs failed. The safety harness caught her, but the result was already clear. Medical staff stopped the chamber and lowered her to the floor. The machine had worked perfectly, her body had not. When Elara woke, her parents were beside the bed. Their silence told her they understood the diagnosis before she did. The doctor explained that on Earth, standing could become an emergency. Walking, falling, or prolonged circulation under full gravity might prove fatal. Elara had not been born sick. She was the first healthy child delivered inside a permanent Mars settlement, under 38% of Earth's gravity. Her skeleton had grown lighter, her limbs longer, and her cardiovascular system weaker against downward force. On Mars, those traits were normal. Under simulated Earth gravity, they became a threat measured in seconds. In the greenhouse, Elara moved with an ease no visitor from Earth possessed, perfectly matched to the planet that had shaped her. She refused to accept adaptation as a sentence. She demanded another test and asked what training, medication, or surgery could make her fit to leave. Her parents searched for an exception: artificial gravity, reinforced suits, cardiovascular support, anything that could keep their family together. No solution could be completed before launch. Experimental treatments required months or years, and none could promise survival. That night, Elara returned to the observation dome. Earth remained beautiful, distant, and impossible to read. She imagined rain on her skin, forests above her, and an ocean wide enough to erase the horizon. For the first time, Earth no longer looked like home waiting for her. It looked like a world that might reject her on arrival. Still, she chose one final attempt. The medical team secured her inside a variable gravity adaptation rig and raised the load more slowly. The harness supported her spine and hips while medication stabilized her blood pressure. For several minutes, the numbers improved. Elara forced herself upright. Pain spread through her lower body, but she held on and refused to stop. Then her heart rhythm destabilized. The test ended before the damage became permanent. She remained beside the silent rig after everyone left. The last path to the shuttle had closed. Searching for another answer, Elara entered the medical archive and opened records sealed since her birth. There she found a parental consent agreement warning that the first generation born on Mars might never live safely on Earth. The signatures belonged to her parents. They had known the risk before she took her first breath. Elara confronted them. To her, the document meant the most important choice of her life had been made before she could speak. Her parents admitted the truth. They believed medicine would solve the problem before she grew up, but the treatment never came. Elara walked away before they could ask forgiveness. The colony she called home suddenly felt like a choice made by someone else. Then she learned why her mother could not stay. Earlier radiation exposure had damaged her bone marrow, and the needed treatment existed only on Earth. The family sat in silence. Staying together was no longer one decision, but 3 lives pulling in opposite directions. At the same time, engineers confirmed the damaged shield could still be repaired. Restoring one external relay might protect the underground shelter. The work could not be done remotely. A replacement module had to be carried outside, locked into the tower, and connected by hand. A maintenance team volunteered to remain. Their plan offered no guarantee, only a chance to survive the storm. Elara saw something the shuttle could not offer, not rescue, but purpose. Mars had shaped her, and she could still belong here. Her father said staying was too dangerous. Her mother, already weakened, understood that leaving with them might be even worse. Elara made the decision herself. Her parents would leave for Earth. She would remain and help defend the colony. At the manifest terminal, she removed her passenger token. One empty seat appeared where her name had been. 3 hours before launch, the corridors were almost silent. Rooms built for hundreds waited behind open doors. Elara packed only a photograph, a stone from the greenhouse path, and the tools assigned to her suit. At the final boarding gate, families held one another beneath the launch windows. Elara stood apart as the last passengers entered. A pressure wall separated her from her parents. They were close enough to touch through glass, but already divided between two planets. Her mother asked her to live. Her father promised they would return. Elara did not ask them to stay. When the airlock closed, she pressed her hand to the glass. 2 hands answered before the door sealed them from view. Elara turned from the launch bay and walked toward the equipment airlock. Behind her, the shuttle began its final ignition sequence. The outer door opened onto red dust and charged darkness. She stepped forward in a suit built for the world her body understood. The storm erased the colony behind her. Under Mars' gravity, she moved with the balance and confidence Earth had called weakness. She climbed the shield tower carrying the replacement module, while radiation levels rose beyond the safe limit. Above the horizon, the shuttle lifted through the storm. Elara watched the light carrying her parents grow smaller, then returned to work. With seconds remaining, she locked the final connector into place. Power returned across the shield network one line at a time. The underground doors sealed before the radiation peak. Life support stabilized, and the people who stayed understood that the colony had survived. Hours later, Earth still shone beyond the storm, but Elara no longer saw Mars as the world that trapped her. It was the world that needed her.